think Jimmy's career will unfold from this point on? How does the Jimmy G story end? Because it was a very magical start. I think he won 16 of his first 18 starts.
I think he's going to be exactly what he is, because as far as he has no downfield passing ability, and that's not on Kyle, that's not on the Niner receivers, that's on him.
I think it's 5 of 30 beyond 30 yards for his career with 5 picks, 5 completions, 5 picks. Come on.
And then somebody posted, I don't know if it was you or somebody posted all of his, downfield passing throws. And I went through and looked at it, and I was like, wow. I mean, there's just nothing there. There's just no. Maybe he hit 2 receivers down the field in stride all year.
Yeah. And what's funny is they try to call those in training camp to sort of at least practice it or get off even worse. I mean, there'd be someone who would just throw it as high as you could. Be like, what happened? But yeah, he can't hit people in stride. I don't know what that is. But I mean, I don't know. Did the Niners think he could when they traded for him? Were they disappointed in that? Because I'm not sure he ever showed that even in New England or in college.
Well, he didn't play. First of all, none of us watched his college. Second of all, he barely played in New England. Right. Then everybody's so enamored with his quick release, which he does have, and he's so much more accurate underneath and in the intermediate range that it was like, well, at downfield accuracy, the NFL is more of a short passing league anyway. It's no big deal. But then when you demonstrate over time that you cannot make the throws deep and outside the numbers
at all, guess
what happens? Guys start to cheat in, and then all of a sudden the book's out, and now you're late over the middle, and then you got a bunch of defensive backs who are cheating in late in the down, and it's pick city, and we saw it firsthand. So the same way Kaepernick kind of just ended after the double pick 6 against Arizona, where guys just dropped and read his eyes. I think Jimmy's downfield game is gone forever. I don't think there's anything there, because I don't think he can make those throws.
I feel like Jimmy is on the precipice of what happened to Jeff Garcia when he left the Niners. I think it's going to be bad for Jimmy. I think Jimmy was in the best situation possible. Great play caller who did everything to mask his weaknesses. I mean, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, this run game. It's not going to be that perfect when he goes to the next place, and no team's going to be that invested in him. I think what's going to happen is he's going to disappoint. He's not going to win the way he won here, and he's probably going to get hurt again, and he's going to be a backup soon. I think this is going to be the last season that he goes into the season as a starter, if he does go into the season as a starter this year. And then he's going to have – I want to see, how is he going to react to being looked at as a backup? Like Jeff Garcia grinded and got back and got another opportunity to start when he was older. Does Jimmy want to do that? Does Jimmy love football like that? Or is he going to look at his bank account and be like, man, I got $100 million. I'm 30 years old. I've gotten hurt a bunch. I'm a backup. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm really curious to see what happens.
I think the 49ers are the greatest collection of run after the catch receivers in the league right now. And so when you have those kind of run after the catch receivers and, tight end, wide receiver, running back, you can throw short. So I think Shanahan's frustration has to come with that. The fact that he had the perfect, group of guys to surround Jimmy with, and Jimmy still couldn't make it happen. So then he's going to go to a new place. They're not going to have all those run after the catch guys. He's going to have to actually throw the ball down the field, and I think he's going to get exposed.
Yeah, I think so too. And again, I want to see if he hits that stage of his career like Jeff Garcia or Ryan Tannehill, where you were a starter, but people don't believe in you anymore. What happens? Are you going to grind it out as a backup or not? Someone's at my front door. Can you carry the show for like 5 seconds? I'll be right back. What's the hell going on? I'll be right back. Sorry.
We're talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. And Jimmy, that stands out when I think about Jimmy is I think of a guy who really gets rid of it quickly, and really is a guy who, I think makes a lot of mistakes when he's forced to extend the down. Every time we always talk to Greg Cosell would always make sure he would say, Jimmy's not a late in the down thrower. And what Greg means by that is just that, a lot of times quarterbacks will free themselves up. They'll sprint right or left. They'll clear out an open space, and they'll allow their receivers to work open down the field. Then you have to deliver the ball down the field. And oftentimes it's quite a bit down the field. You're talking about 30, 40 yards down the field. That's not his strength. That's not his strength. His strength, I think, is to get the ball out and play in rhythm. 1, 2, 3, out. The ball comes out. You throw it short to Debo, short to Ayuk, short to Kittle, short to a running back, and they make plays after that. I think you put Jimmy in a traditional NFL offense where there's not all that run after the catch, and now he's waiting for things to happen down the field. Well, you have to step into those throws and deliver a strong throw. I don't see that. I don't see that as his strength. I was just kind of going off a little bit more on the fact that this is not a downfield thrower outside the numbers, Grant. That this guy's existed a lot on run after the catch ability of his receivers, and I think almost anywhere he goes. I was thinking, what would be the perfect receiving group for Jimmy's
49ers?
It's the 49ers. It's the 49ers and Shanahan.
Not even close. That's why, I am shorting Jimmy Garoppolo and the rest of his career. I'm betting against him because he was in the best situation. They gave him They gave him a top 5 defense. They gave him a top 5 running game. They gave him all the yak specialists in the world. He couldn't do it.
Yeah,
hold on.
No problem. I'll tell you the other thing that we saw is that in the Super Bowl when there was pressure on him when Kansas City got pressure on him, he starts to backpedal and make disastrous plays. I mean, we don't talk about it it's amazing when you think about the Super Bowl. We talk endlessly about the pass that wasn't connected to Emmanuel Sanders. But Jimmy's real screw up in that Super Bowl came in the first half when Chris Jones was in his face and he should have just tucked it in and taken the sack. And instead, with Jones in his face, backpedaling, about to get buried, he threw some duck to the sidelines, which was easily picked. That was the play in that Super Bowl that lost the game, not the Emmanuel Sanders incompletion. I was saying how everybody talks about that Sanders incompletion in the second half in the bowl, but nobody talks about the interception in the first half when he had Chris Jones in his face and he should have just eaten it. Instead, he floated a terrible duck to the sidelines and it was picked easily.
His eyes were closed.
That was a horrendous play.
There are pictures of that interceptions. His eyes are closed when he lets the ball go. It was like you call it a no-look pass or you call it
a no-look pass, move. Yeah.
Real quick, what just happened, this is a new home. I bought a house this month and that was thanks. That was the fire department coming by. You got to check stuff with your house, right? You ever have that? Hey, we got to check, see if you're compliant. Got to go around, check the vegetation.
You got the right. What's the thing that beeps? Make sure you're not going to die in the middle of the night from poisoning or whatever.
All that stuff. Well, I guess he was making sure, like, the house isn't up to code. Fire. Anyway, I had to get.
Are you up to code? Are you up to code?
I am. I passed.
Look at that.
I am. But I had to get that. I mean, that was important. He rang the doorbell twice. That's how I knew he wasn't messing around. He's like, I'm not leaving. I didn't invite him. But I figured I needed to get it.
They start kicking down the door.
Yeah. This is important. All right. Hold on. James says Jimmy won't have time to learn the Browns playbook. I mean, you can give him all the time in the world. I'm sorry. He's not exactly a cerebral player. Just kind of make it simple and he can hit the.
And he's a veteran quarterback. He's a veteran quarterback, though. I mean, come on. I think Kyle's playbook is probably way deeper and more difficult to learn than the Browns playbook.
He throws 24 passes a game. They're like the same 3 routes. He'll be fine. You're not asking him to do anything he hasn't done. It's just new words. The one thing about the Browns that the Browns have that other teams don't have is they have an overwhelming running game with a bunch of different running backs. So they can kind of get Jimmy on a pitch count and just run Chubb and run Hunt. They could. I listened to Jock Peterson the other day, and he reminds me of Nick Bosa, super quiet for the press, as all Niners. A little bit, yeah, with like a dry sense of humor, although he's funnier than Bosa, and he's from the Bay Area, which I'm partial. That's right, Palo Alto High. Yeah, Pally High. He's the one guy. He's the one fun guy to watch on the Giants right now, Jock Peterson. Yep. Pally High must be the most gorgeous high school in the country. I mean, it looks like it's Stanford. It's right next to Stanford. It's right there. All Niners says, what are the chances Jimmy retires? Good question. No. I wonder how long he'll be in the league. He's got so much money. Does he really love football? Maybe he does. We shall see. Love the. I don't think you really think he. I don't see him retiring right now. Do Not you? Now. But no. Is he going to be in the league when he's 35? I would say no. I would say no. I don't think so. James Hennessy says, who takes a chance on a 30-year-old quarterback? A desperate team like Cleveland that has no options and put themselves in a pretty precarious situation? I guess.
A team that's other choice is Jacoby Brissett or Sam Darnold, maybe.